Okay, thanks, Kristen. Good evening, everyone. Welcome, council, staff, residents, and Emily from Hastings County Planning. I'll call the meeting to order with the land acknowledgement. We're meeting today on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Huron-Wendat, Anishinaabe, and the Haudenosaunee peoples. We acknowledge our shared obligation to respect, honor, and sustain these lands and the natural resources contained within. We honor their cultures and celebrate their commitment to this land. We would also like to acknowledge the Mohawk and Algonquin nations, whose traditional and unceded territory we are gathered upon today. Hastings County is situated on treaty land that is steeped in rich Indigenous history and home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people. Next on is approval of the agenda. And the motion is, or the recommendation is, that the agenda of the planning meeting of the council of the municipality of Marmorn Lake for Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025 be approved as presented. The mover and the seconder, Eric. Second, Mike. Any comments or discussion on the agenda? All in favor? That's carried. Is there any declaration of pecuniary interest? Seeing none. Next, I need a motion that the foregoing minutes of the planning meeting of the council of the municipality of Marmorn Lake held Tuesday, July 15th, 2025 be approved as presented. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Mike, second. Jane, any discussion on those planning minutes? All in favor? That's carried. Next on the agenda is the public meetings. This is the time set aside to permit anyone in attendance to speak in favor or in opposition to the zoning amendments. Public input will be received by council. If a person or public body would otherwise have an ability to appeal the decision of the municipal council for the municipality of Marmorn Lake to the Ontario Land Tribunal, but the person or public body does not make oral submissions at a public meeting or make written submissions to the municipality of Marmorn Lake before the bylaws passed, the person or public body is not entitled to appeal that decision. If a person or public body does not make oral submissions at a public meeting or make a written submission to the municipal council for the municipality of Marmorn Lake before the bylaws passed, the person or public body may not be added as a party to the hearing of an appeal before the Ontario Land Tribunal unless, in the opinion of the tribunal, there are reasonable grounds to do so. So there's no one present, and Kristen, we don't have any record of anybody. Okay, thank you. So the proposed zoning bylaw amendment is for Station Road, Marmorn Lake. The subject lands are presently zoned marginal agricultural. The purpose of the application is to rezone a portion of the subject lands from marginal agriculture zone to rural residential holding zone to fulfill condition number 7 of consent to severance application number B 156/24. So since there's no one present, we just can carry on. So the zoning amendment reports. Zoning amendment bylaw number 2025-51P Station Road. Legal description, lots 7 and 8, concession 6, part 3 unregistered plan 21R 26-354 and part 1 unregistered plan 21R 16572. And we have planning comments and QCA comments, and the 2025-51P zoning amendment and schedule for Station Road. And the recommendation is that the County of Hastings Planning Staff report dated August 25th, 2025, regarding rezoning of lands legally described as lots 7 and 8, concession 6, part 3 unregistered plan 21R 26354, and part 1 unregistered plan 21R 16572 be received, and that the zoning bylaw amendment 2025-51P regarding the rezoning of lands legally described as lots 7 and 8, concession 6, part 3 unregistered plan 21R 26354 and part 1 unregistered plan 21R 16572 be recommended for council adoption. Can I have a mover and a seconder for that recommendation? Eric. And second, Mike, any questions or comments? Being none, all in favor? That's carried. Planning reports, severance application reports, consent files B34-/25 and B35/25 for 2297 Centerline Road, part of Lot 21, Concession 9, Part 1, on Registered Plan 21R2561. The recommendation is that the planning committee receive and approve the planning staff report dated August the 22nd, 2025. That costs to the value of $2,400 cash in lieu of parkland be paid under section 33(8) of the Act. That all taxes be paid in full prior to granting consent. That road widening be required for the entire frontage of the severed and retained lands as deemed necessary by the manager of transportation services. And 5, that the severed lands be rezoned from marginal agricultural to rural residential. And 6, that safe site entrances be approved on the proposed severed lands, including removal of brush along sight lines as directed by the manager of transportation services. Can I have a mover and a seconder for that, please? Mike, second, Eric. All in favor? That's carried. Bylaws, bylaw number 2025-51P, zoning amendment for Station Road, being a bylaw to amend the comprehensive zoning bylaw number 2003-11 as amended. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Eric, and second, Mike. All in favor? That's carried. And the confirming bylaw number 2025-52P, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the planning meeting of council held on the 2nd day of September 2025. And I have a mover and a seconder, Eric. Second, Jane. All in favor? That's carried. Need a motion to adjourn. Mike, second. Jane. All in favor? Thank you. We're adjourned.